Well, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time, we've had no videos, but last 2 days we went and picked 2 go-karts up off Facebook. We've added a 16 horsepower on the engine on the back of it. I'm going to show you the build, so let's get into that, and then we're going to show you a test ride in it and what happens. So this started as a 48 volt kids electric go-kart. We stripped the battery, electric motor and all the wiring off it. We then took the wheels off, took the seat out, took the sprocket off because we had a 16 horsepower engine going on it and we knew we needed to make some space. So I found a 428 chain with a centrifugal clutch to go on it. So I took all the wheels off and got to the sprocket and sprocket carrier. I then unbolted all the bolts out the sprocket and centered it to the 428 blank sprocket that I bought. I then marked all the holes, got it in the centre just by eye, marked all the holes, centre punched it and put it on the drill and drilled all the holes out. This is an 8mm drill bit. Being this is only meant for children, there wasn't enough space for our legs to go in. So we knew we had to move the seat back, so we cut the bar off the back and cut the engine mount off because we were putting a bigger engine in. Also where the battery was mounted, and we had to get that off as well, just to make room for the bigger engine. I'm now bolting the sprocket up to the sprocket carrier, ready to go on. So we'll put the sprocket on first and then we can line the engine up for the train to be straight. I then had a engine plate already pre-built that I'd done for a previous project, ready to fit on our 480cc 16 horsepower KP racing engine. We then cut the brackets off for where the battery was mounted, also drilled all the spot rivets out of it and cut the old electric motor mount off. We then needed to level the frame to make sure it was all sitting level, because when you're welding the engine on, you want it to be in line and level so the chain stays on. The leveler you can get it, the better really, and obviously the straighter and in line with the sprocket you can get it, the more chance you got of the chain staying on. So we made sure it was level, the table was level, secured down with a couple of G-clamps. We then placed the engine mount onto where we cut the previous engine mount off and put the engine on there just to line everything up and make sure everything was going to fit. Just takes a bit of time, you want to get this right really, make sure it's in the right position and everything's in line, otherwise you could come up with a few problems in the future with your chain staying on, and reliability and wear and tear, stuff like that. We then made sure that I was going to fit in it, we were going to fit in it, because it was only meant for kids. We moved the seat back a few inches so we had a bit more room. I added some box section onto the bottom of the engine mounts just to strengthen it up, because it was taking 16 horsepower and I think the original 48 volt motor probably 3 or 4 horsepower. Don't quote me on that, I'm not too sure, but just making sure everything's at right angles and level at all times is really the key to getting it to work really. Just MIG welded it on and strengthened it up. That's our engine plate, box section, and then finished some final welds on the engine plate, just making sure it's nice and secure and strong. We then bolted the engine onto the engine plate, lined it up so it was at the front of the holes, so when you slide the engine back you've got all the room for tension in the chain, and welded her on, sat her on there and welded it on with everything in situ, just so we could see it was all in line, it was going to line up. I find it's easier to do this when it comes to getting everything in line. This is just welding the seat in. We hadn't ran the throttle cable at this point, so we had the throttle cable to do. But not long after this we got it done, and you're going to see now the test ride and how it went.
Getting it tight.
I landed on him, that did.
Yeah, you're right, kid.
Yeah.
But the damage.
Right, sit in there a sec.
Look at the steering. Oh shit! Look at the steering wheel. Look.
No, just sit in there. Move your hand off the dirty bit. Be liberal. Look at that.
Bend the wheel. Pop the tyre. Bent a bit of the exhaust. Look, you didn't. You need a helmet on. Got to ride that without a helmet now.